Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is KarQ. Welcome to the KarQives, the KarQ Archives channel, my second channel where it's a lot more candid and casual. I have a main channel video covering today's patch with some changes and some short thoughts. I have a quicker version on TikTok, but this version is going to be me rambling on what is good, what is bad, why are they changing this, why aren't they changing certain things. And let's start from the top of today's balanced patch notes of November 17th. Okay, first of all, Overwatch League Tournament Champion Legendary Skin Remixes celebrate Overwatch League Tournament champions with the Royal Gladiator, Dallas Summer, Shanghai Summer legendary skins. These skins are purchasable for a limited time with Overwatch League tokens. Okay, first of all, the first thing they gotta tell you guys is to buy shit from their shop. Monetization, baby. And this is what they were talking about. Okay, we got some champion bundles. We got the Thunder Doom 300. I swear these were cheaper before. Were these not 200? Let's see, earlier they're 300. Okay, so, yeah. Okay, so this one's 300. Spitfire Winston is 300, but this is still 200 for the Gladiators. Interesting for the pricing. Shanghai Summer skin. Okay. I'm not sure why the pricing isn't consistent. 200 across the board. $400 tokens each, but now this is like 500 for a bundle, so you just get like 50 off if you bought them both individually. I don't know how I feel about that price. I could dive into like monetization practices and my disagreement with the prices, but is it because these are the MVP skins and these are just like winning the summer tournaments, right? I mean, come on, I feel like you should just standardize the price, guys. Come on. That's just my take on it. Anyways, I don't like any of these skins. I'm probably not gonna buy them, but if you have tokens and you know you like to spend money on things, I mean, who am I to stop you? The second thing that Blizzard has talked about in today's patch is competitive play and matchmaking. Ooh, we got a little update. We're continuing to monitor the health of competitive play and matchmaking across Overwatch 2, both for returning and new players. We've made numerous tuning adjustments on the server for both the initial and continued determination of a player's skill tier and division, many of which will become even more noticeable at the start of Season 2. We've increased the precision of our queue time estimates for each individual role. Okay, so basically they're just monitoring it, right? Made more tuning. It'll show more in Season 2, but for now, everybody who's complaining about their rank not moving, oh, I won 7 but lost 12, but I somehow ranked up, or the opposite problem where, you know, they've won 7 and lost 2 games, but somehow they're D-ranking. At the end of the day, my understanding of this system was that the hidden MMR, or the hidden SR system underneath the front-facing layer was inaccurate, and it's still trying to match it up. It very well could have been bugged. They didn't really say it was a bug here, per se, but they're making some adjustments to kind of hopefully alleviate the issue. Season 1 of any new game is going to have matchmaking a little bit wild. They did take some data on Overwatch 1, as far as I know. Actually, they took all the data, but don't know what it means under the hood. All we know is it's hopefully going to keep continuing to tune it, and it's going to get better by Season 2, which is December 6th. And also, precision of the queue time estimates is nice, because sometimes when you like click queue and it's like less than 1 minute or like greater than 10 minutes for a thing, it's actually accurate, which will actually feel pretty good to know if you want to queue up or not. I've never trusted that number anyways, where it's like, you know, yeah, 10 minutes for a support queue. I actually get really fast support queues, but hey, who's counting? Okay, now we have the defense matrix with the fixed camera. The audio transcription feature has now been added with the limited rollout for PC players in select countries. Okay, if you guys didn't read this, listen carefully. As a piece of our defense matrix initiative, audio transcriptions allow us to analyze a transcript from a temporary voice chat recording of a reported player. Players will now see a notification when entering voice chat for the first time during a play session, indicating that voice chat may be recorded. It's like those times when you call like, you know, customer service. This call may be recorded for quality purposes. Make sure you report as close to when disruptive behavior occurs, when it actually occurs, to maximize this feature's effectiveness. Because once you report, a temporary audio recording will be used, which will have like a text-to-speech recognition, right? To make a text file transcript through speech-to-text programs. No one listens to the temporary audio recording, because it is quickly deleted after being just transcribed. Transcriptions are only made or reports of disruptive behavior in public voice channels, which includes team and match chat which includes team and match chat. So group and party chat is excluded. So if you're memeing with your friends, I don't know why you'd meme report them, but like you're fine in that regard. But this is mostly for someone spewing slurs, just slurring nonstop, slinging slurs like It's their birthday. You just fucking report them and it'll grab the transcript. It's gonna look like a nasty text file, but I mean, at least they can read it and be like, yep, this guy's saying some nasty shit, and hopefully they, you know, get the hammer, Torb's hammer, ban hammer. But yes, so they are gonna start recording your audio. They're not stealing your data, but they're recording your audio if reported, and only a small portion of it, just to grab a text file. And I'm going to take what they say at face value and give them the benefit of the doubt that is exactly all they're using the voice thing for. Okay, it's only for the reporting feature. I actually like this, obviously, as long as our audio voice, if it does exactly as it's written and told here, that's fine. Cool. Big change here, actually. Crossplay and Aim Assist. We made a change to Aim Assist in Crossplay PC plus console lobbies. If you play in Crossplay games now, Aim Assist is enabled in all matches except competitive. That's good. I like to do viewer games sometimes. I did them yesterday. I'll probably do them at the beginning of Season 2 when Ramatra comes out. We'll play like a bunch of viewer games because I want to farm Ramatra games and practice him and just get to know him a bit. And obviously, if I try to Q tank, Qs are going to be forever, so I just kind of play with viewers and I can force my way into playing Ramatra and, you know, make you guys play everything else. But if you're on console, I usually, these viewer games are welcome to everybody, and, you know, if you're on the Switch, PS4, Xbox, you can sign in and play crossplay and play with me, and you'll get a little bit of aim assist because it's a custom game. It's not competitive. Hey, so it won't feel as awful. Okay, in our data, we found many groups were crossplay groups between PC and console players. Ooh, that meant if you were playing on console and grouping with PC players on PC, you were opting into a bad experience for yourself to play with your friends. Also, if you had a group that was primarily console, but one of your friends was a PC player, you had to leave the PC player out to have a good experience. We like to reiterate at this point, Aim Assist exists only on console platforms. We'll be monitoring the deployment of the change carefully and making changes quickly if needed. So that means if you play a controller on PC, you do not get Aim Assist. Oh, there is no crossplay if you're in comp anyways. Okay, my mistake. Just so this is clear, chat, for some reason, if you're using the sticks controller on PC, it's still, you don't get Aim Assist. Okay? Only console, only in crossplay situations. Cool. Okay, now here's the juice. Why is there so much spacing here? Balance changes. This is the next timestamp. D.Va. D.Va felt too deadly after the last round of changes, given how resilient she can be with her improved defense matrix. So they're nerfing two things. Fusion cannon spread increased from 3.5 to 3.75. So this is in degrees. So like if you draw a line, I'm trying to pretend I'm a software engineer now. When you shoot, your character sends a ray cast or a cone. And the degree, you know, like angles, if the number is smaller here, that means your angle cone is tighter. So you have a tighter spread, which means it's stronger because your bullets are more condensed and more accurate. If the spread number is bigger, it means like let's say the spread angle is 10 degrees, it's way too hot, way too open. That means your bullets are flaring everywhere. So basically, this is a nerf. It means your bullets are more spread out. I hope that made sense, and I hope I'm right with like raycast and cones. I kind of just threw those words out because I just saw it in a video last night. Okay, that's a nerf. It's very minor though. This is pretty fucking minor. Boosters. Impact damage reduced from 25 damage to 15. That's 10 damage. It affects her all-in burst combo a little bit, but these are very minor nerfs. I still think D.Va is pretty good. And Call Mech, fixed in the last update. Call Mech ultimate cost is reduced by 12%. So this is actually a buff because a reduction in how much it costs to build it means you can build the ultimate faster. So this is a buff when you're in Baby D.Va trying to get your mech back. It means it takes like an extra like 2 less shots to get your ultimate back. So that's a small buff, like really small. These are tiny nerfs. D.Va's still very good. So I think D.Va is actually pretty strong in the meta because we'll get to it in a bit. Well, I'll talk about tier lists in a video on the main channel later this week. But Winston is going to be really strong this patch, which inevitably means D.Va is going to be a pretty good matchup against it. It's a strong pick. Okay, Zarya. Developer comment. Early player sentiment predicted Zarya as one of the weakest solo tanks in 5v5, although her high damage potential and barrier uptime have proven to be extremely effective. for opponents. Feedback has indicated this can feel as though Zarya has very limited windows of vulnerability, which feels difficult to deal with when combined with her ramping damage potential. These changes will reduce the barrier uptime, making it slightly more difficult for her to gain energy, and will provide enemies with more time to deal damage with her. So, bubbles, particle per barrier. For bubbles, the actual duration of it was reduced from 2.5 to 2 seconds, and its cooldown for each individual bubble was 10 to 11 seconds. Oh, it's for both. This is for the personal, and it's a shared cooldown, so it's the exact same writing for both of them. Okay, so here's what happens with Zarya. I still think Zarya went from S+ tier now, and now she's like still B tier. She's still fine. This is basically how she was in Overwatch 1, by the way. Bubble used to only be 2 seconds duration. 2.5 seconds is really long. It kind of messed up a lot of Reinhardt players who like miss time shattering. For me as an Ana player, if a Genji's blading and he gets bubbled, I actually like had muscle memory timed for when I see that. I know how to time my sleep to at least go when the bubble would naturally expire, but that extra 0.5 seconds screwed me a little bit at the beginning of Overwatch 2. This is just the Overwatch 1 version of her with the duration. It's not bad, and you still can stack 2 bubbles, of course, so this is not bad, and 1 extra second is like not too bad. You just have to be a bit more selective on using the bubbles back to back because it's a slightly longer recharge. This is very minor. This is a decent-ish nerf. Actually, it's pretty strong nerf, but not like makes her unplayable by any means, right? Because the extra 0.5 seconds did 2 things. Number 1, it gave you a much longer window to absorb random damage to get higher natural charge. Because a lot of Zaryas would like back-to-back bubble pretty quickly. They'll bubble once, 2.5 seconds, chill a little bit, they can absorb some damage, their healer can heal them up, then they can bubble again. So it's 2.5 plus 2.5 seconds, plus like if you space them out a little bit, you'd get like 5 seconds of invulnerability to grab charge as well, and you're invulnerable for an extra second. Now it's 5 seconds, this is now 4 seconds, 2 plus 2 versus 2.5 plus 2.5. So 1 less second of invulnerability, 1 less second to accidentally get random shit to hit you to build easy energy. This is a pretty decent nerf, and it doesn't make her unplayable, okay? This is good, because Zarya is still like the #1 highest DPS damage. High level Zaryas may not feel this as much, like they'll feel it, but like if they're good at Zarya, they'll still be good because they're very skilled in timing good bubbles to get energy, and they know how to like have good resource management with it. For the lower tier Zaryas, that's you. You're probably average, like average level Zaryas, that's you. You're average, maybe below average. It'll affect you a little bit. Actually, a little bit more than the higher level players. You just have to be, you have to be smarter on this hero now. The skill ceiling actually hasn't changed, but the skill floor has decreased. Does that make sense? Yeah. Genji. Okay, what the heck is going on with this spacing? Is this like Markdown, HTML? What's going on? Whoa. The gap between these two is bigger than my 2 front teeth. And then this one was like, no gaps. What's going on? Genji has greatly benefited from the move to 5v5, changing to a single tank, and the reduction of crowd control has removed a lot of obstacles for Genji. However, he hasn't received tuning updates since he wasn't actively in the meta until launch, an intentional decision based on our general preference to avoid preemptive adjustments when possible. These changes will bring Genji more in line with the other flanking damage heroes like Tracer and Reaper. So his maximum ammo reduced from 30 to 24, that's fine. 29 to 27 on the damage. Does that really affect his breakpoints? Honestly, this just made an S tier hero in Genji down to like B. Still like good, average. Like I've certainly seen Genji in worse states, if that makes any sense. And Genji still has the DPS passive, which he didn't have in Overwatch 1. Think Overwatch 1 Genji, were people still playing him throughout the entire lifespan? Yes. Genji used to have 27 damage at one point, I remember. It got buffed to 30, 28. It's been between 27, 28, 29, and 30 in his lifetime. And I think his ammo used to start at 24. But back in the day, I mean, right now, Genji has less CC to deal with, less barriers, and like no Cassidy flashbangs, no like Orisa barriers to have to get through. And he has a DPS passive with the reload and movement speed on reset. He's literally a reset hero, where if you get a reset, you get more movement speed, you get a free dash again anyways. Yeah, no Brig stuns. So like, these nerfs don't make him unplayable. Like everybody on TikTok's like, Genji nerf, skull emoji. Yes, okay, but still playable, skull emoji. So he's fine. He's like middle of the pack. Not terrible, not terrible, in my opinion. Junkrat, what happened here? So if we scroll down really quickly, this is the one I've been kind of clickbaiting it a little bit. where Junkrat received nerfs before Sojourn. So if we actually read it here, technically, I think they adjusted Steel Trap in the last update. They wrote in the last update, which means they actually did this already, but they just added it to the patch notes for today, which means this was already in the game with the patch last week, which is why when I filmed it, I was like, I feel like I don't see a difference. So this was a stealth nerf last week, but at least we're reporting it now, in which the arming time increased from 0.5 to 0.75 seconds. That means when you put the trap down, it takes 0.75 seconds for it to be active, which is actually a nerf, right? Because imagine if you just stuck it down and someone could immediately step on it, like a 0-second activation. 0.75 second activation, it's a pretty minor nerf in all honesty. And then the trap duration reduced from 3 to 2.5 seconds. So that means when you're stuck in it for only 2.5 seconds versus 3, which isn't like, so both these nerfs are very minor. If you're ever stuck in a trap, you're probably gonna die within the next second. If Junkrat sees trap, oh, he's chucking a mine at you and you're probably already dead before the 3 seconds even runs out. Same with the arm time. It's not too big of a deal. It's pretty important though when you're like flying in the air and you throw a trap down and stuff. But yeah, surprise, surprise. I honestly didn't think Junkrat needed any changes for now. He's arguably a weak hero in the higher tiers. I think he's a little underrated. But I think early on when D.Va was played a lot and when Zarya was just getting free 100% energy off this guy, it made Junkrat kind of hard to play. But now with Zarya being nerfed and I guess slight D.Va nerfs and she's not as popular, coincided with the fact that we already know Winston's going to be meta because this is the patch that Overwatch League players played on. If Winston's meta, like Junk's okay against Winston. It's actually pretty decent against Winston. You can have him actually annoy the shit out of him, trap him. He's kind of screwed. You can help break his bubble and you can boop him back with the mines, which actually makes Junkrat automatically up in the tier list. Sombra is the last change. No, sorry. Sombra's change. With Sombra's rework, she gained a lot more damage to help account for the reduced ability lockout duration of hack, but this proved to be too deadly for a flanker with easy access to enemy backlines, especially in 5v5. She can no longer channel hack on an already hacked target, as feedback indicated that the reduced cooldown combined with hacking from stealth proved to be too frustrating for players. This is essentially a per target cooldown that enables hack to keep its current 4-second cooldown for potentially hacking multiple targets. That's a hefty sentence, say that much. Let's actually read the change first. Hack. Ability lockout duration reduced from 1.75 to 1.5 seconds. That means you are only silenced. You will be able to use your abilities again after 1.5 seconds versus 1.75 seconds. It looks pretty small on paper, but it'll feel different. In the Overwatch 2 beta, it was only 1 second, and it didn't feel like much at 1 second, but suddenly when they buffed it to 1.75 seconds, it was like, that's so long. It's so annoying. Like if you're a Zenyatta and you want to press Transcendence against Sombra, getting locked out for 1.75 seconds means she has a large win. She has 1.75 seconds to hack you and then kill you before you press Transcendence to save yourself. When it was 1 second in the beta, Sombra's did not have enough time to kill him before he can transcend. And this is like a happy medium at 1.5 now. So this will certainly feel, this is like a small tune. I think this is okay. It'll feel less annoying, but it won't feel as oppressive. That's fine. Hacked enemies are no longer valid targets for hacking for the duration of the 8-second effect. It means you just can't. So hack right now lasts 8 seconds where you have vision of them and they take that amplified damage for 8 seconds. But the fact that you could stay stealth and just keep re-hacking them non-stop was really annoying. So this just means you just can't hack the same person over and over again until the 8-second thing is over. Hacked enemy damage multiplier, though, reduced from 40 to 25%. So this is pretty hefty because if you remember in Overwatch 1... I'm getting interrupted by my friends. Okay, so in Overwatch 1, I think Sombra's bullets per damage per bullet was 1 more than it was early in Overwatch 2. Like they gave Sombra this 40% damage multiplier on hacked targets, but they nerfed the 1 bullet damage. So they're actually bringing this down. So this will probably feel like the Overwatch 1 version. I don't actually have the math on it, but this is pretty hefty. These are 3 pretty significant nerfs. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if you guys have been playing against Sombras. I don't know what it is, but sometimes like annoyingness of a hero doesn't translate to pick rate. I saw a lot more Sombras early on, but I'm not gonna lie, I only see Sombra once every like 20 games now. Even near the end before this patch, like in the last couple of weeks, early November, when Sombra was still really good, I just saw less of her. Maybe it's because people have this like unwritten rule where they're like, we're not gonna play Sombra anymore because she's annoying. So everyone makes a, you know, unwritten rule. She was, yeah, she was really annoying. And I think the individual, the hack, this is good change. This is good. I think you can keep, here's what I think, okay? I think you can keep the hacked enemy damage multiplier maybe at like 30%, number one, not 25%. But like hack shouldn't last 8 seconds because it gives everybody vision for you're literally like a walking red target for 8 seconds, which is like really long in my opinion. I don't know, maybe like, wasn't it in Overwatch 1 only like 5 or 6 second hack? I feel like that might feel a little bit better. Or maybe keep it at 40, but like just don't hack the same person multiple times and like they're only hacked for like, you know, 5 seconds or something. That might feel a little better. That's just my personal take. But again, I'm not a Sombra player. I'm speaking from a support main POV where I get screwed over by Sombra all the time. And I'm trying to find a happy medium so Sombra players can still be happy. But go consult Fitzy because what he thinks. But that's my take on Sombra. Okay, now Kiriko. This invulnerability window was primarily intended to help avoid instantly dying to something unseen after teleporting through walls, but it ended up being a little too long and led to some confusion while shooting Kiriko. Who the hell is confused shooting Kiriko? I mean, okay, invulnerability on Swift Step reduced from 0.4 to 0.25 seconds. This is like, this isn't gonna really affect her at all. She has iframe, so basically when you teleport, you have 0.4 seconds of invulnerability, and now they're just shortening that window. So there's like a tech you can do to like iframe dodge D.Va bombs and time stuff, and it just makes that window a lot smaller. I think Kiriko Suzu is a big problem. This is like whatever. This doesn't really change her at all. I don't know what people are confused about. Maybe this is actually a low-key bug fix, because right now I know when you swift step, you drop whatever projectiles are on you. Like if you get stuck by a tracer bomb and you TP with swift step, you drop the bomb. But I know there was a bug early on where if you TP'd late, you'd bring the bomb explosion with you. I don't know if this will, maybe this was a change intended to fix that under the step, or under the hood, excuse me, but yeah, this one's a little weird. Doesn't affect her at all. Kiriko's still S tier, guys. Okay? Cool. Now, bug fixes. These are actually pretty important to go over, and I'll tell you the ones that matter, okay? Default setting for audio mix has been changed from studio, has been changed to studio reference. So if you guys don't know, if you go under audio settings, you can change the audio mix and the way it sounds, and the default one was awful. I've actually had mine on studio reference the whole time. Here, let me show you. Well, I have it on Dolby, or no. I have it on headphones, excuse me. So now studio reference is default. I use headphones, so I have it here. But you can change your mix. So like if you're on television, it'll sound probably a bit more like surround soundy. If you're playing from a TV, soundbar. If you have a theater with like an actual system at home, you can change the mix so it like actually like spreads to your shit properly. But for me, I use headphones, just so you guys know, if you guys want to copy my settings. I just think that one sounds the best, straight up. Okay, that's the first thing. At least the default one. Some people don't know it exists, so this is mostly for the default one for people who never looked at that setting, and it sounds better now, studio reference. Okay, so they resolved an issue where some players could be stuck in Bronze 5 even after several rank updates. It turns out you weren't crazy, and you weren't actually that bad. It turns out you were actually bugged. I can't tell you the amount of people who told me, who have come into my stream, chatting.
I swear, I've won 7 games in a row, and I've been Bronze 5
for 3 months now, or a month and a half. What's going on? And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't want to gaslight you, but I'm like, guys, you're just bad. No, I didn't say that. I was like, listen, in Overwatch 1, your SR could be below 1500. That's like bronze threshold, right? 1500 SR. If you're at like 500 SR, and you won 7 games in Overwatch 1 at 500 SR, you'd be at like 650 SR. You're still bronze. You can win another 7 in a row. You'd be at 700 and something SR. You're still Bronze 5. You could win 30 games and you'd still be Bronze 5. You have to go all the way up to 1500 and then it'll climb. But it turns out you weren't crazy. There was probably a bug at Bronze 5. So hey, hopefully your issues have been resolved. Cool. Console only, fixing, okay, yeah, I'm just kidding. I'll go over the console ones. I was about to say, I don't care, because I don't actually play console, but I care about you console players. Fix issue with capture highlight, could not be unbound. Oh, that's game breaking. Address multiple leaderboard Oh, address. Okay, here's the important stuff. Address multiple leaderboard issue causing inaccurate placement and ordering. This is very important because obviously this only affects 500 people in each region, in each role. Grammar, who proofread this, players who getting healed will no longer see the healing status effect on their screen while they're at full health. That's a small quality of life change. Okay. Fix an issue where players would sometimes be placed into an empty game. I can't say that happened to me, but hey. Resolve the bug that prevented players from rejoining their comp game after being disconnected. Thank God. Good. Fix the bug where typing in chat could purchase an what? Fix the bug where typing in chat could purchase an item from the hero gallery. Oh? With real coins or money or what? Bruh. Holy. Oh my God. Okay. The no name card selection and the name card interface is now selectable. Okay, so I think originally you couldn't unselect your name card after a while. So they reverted that. Cool. Fix a display issue where players were shown the incorrect amount of Overwatch League tokens, which made them unable to purchase items, and now it shows the correct amount. Okay. Avoid teammate button is no longer hiding behind. So this is just a UI bug. I saw this one. This one I actually saw, where the avoid button, like the recent player was blocking that button to avoid teammates or something like that. Fix an issue with challenge, far side and not correctly tracking, damage sponge not tracking. Okay. Resolve instances of a player screen becoming blurry or out of focus. I think some console players told me about this bug. Fix an issue where some players are missing the Noir Widow skin. Okay. Various improvements to FTUEs. Fix in last update. Practice spots now show up correctly through walls. Okay, that's minor. Okay, let's look at some other juicy bits of this patch. Junkrat Town. Fix additional areas in the map that were causing performance issues in some cases. So, there was a part of Junkrat Town. I don't know if I should tell people this because I think it's still bugged right now. Okay, fuck it, whatever. I'm believing that they fixed it. I don't think it's bugged anymore. If you did a tick rate, if you used a hero that had like ticking abilities, like May Beam, Zarya Beam, Symmetra Beam, those are tick abilities because it keeps calculating your damage on each tick, and you used it on like a motorcycle or some parts of Junkrat Town, you would literally lag everybody in the server because the server is trying to do infinite calculations because for some reason the object or the motorcycle on the map. I had a workshopper, software developer explain this to me who worked Overwatch Workshop. Basically, I think it was not Muda or Cactus Puppy. When you freeze, or when May was trying to freeze the motorcycle, the workshop would keep sending commands to try to freeze the object, but because it couldn't get frozen, it would just keep looping, kept like over and over and over again. It would just cause everybody to lose their frames or something like that. I think it was in Overwatch 1. Maybe this was a different bug. But in any case, you would just lose your frame rate when you shot the motorcycle again in Overwatch 2. So, hey. So they fixed that. Cool. Brig. Fixed a bug where Brig's shield could become invulnerable under certain conditions. I know about this bug. Now, for your curiosity, here's how it worked, because now it's fixed. When it was the problem with Kitsune Rush. If you played Brig Kiriko, and you as a Brig were in your Fox ult from your Kiriko, if your shield broke, because of the accelerated cooldowns, it would like allow you to put up your shield ahead of when your actual regeneration was or something along that lines, which meant it just put it in a bug state, and then your shield would become unbreakable until you died. But that was pretty bad. That's a pretty bad bug, but I'm glad they fixed it. Cassidy now correctly drops the flag during combat roll and captures the flag. Oh wow, CTF. Okay, cool. Doomfist. Fixed in the last update. Fixed a bug with Seismic Slam being stopped early by obstructions. Okay, fixed a bug with being able to jump during Seismic Slam. So nothing with the Stair Slam or any of the other techs that were in the beta, unfortunate. Fixed an issue with the Genji Mythic Skin hit volumes. I don't know what that means. Hit volumes? Fixed an issue where players can get Infinite Dragon Blade in custom games. Okay, that's fine. Not really affecting everybody. Hanzo, jump wall climb no longer destroys breakables. Really? Oh, I guess like if you were wall climbing as Hanzo on like, you know, Hollywood railings, your fucking ginormous Shimada muscles would just break the railings. I guess it no longer works. Junkrat Queen, commanding shout and rampage now correctly drop the flag in CTF. All right, more CTF changes. Fix an issue where Kiriko could escape map boundaries using Swift Step. I had this bug by accident. So, yeah, glad they fixed that. Cool. May added back. Dude, listen, May has been out of the game since October 31st. She's been gone for 17 days. Did anybody give a shit? No, I think most people were happy this little ice demon was gone. But there are some May mains here that were like, oh, But imagine if it was Mercy. Oh man, Mercy or D.Va being removed from the game for 17 days. Never upset the Mercy community, guys. Trust me, I've learned. Okay, fix several issues with the Mei ice wall to allow players and projectiles to occasionally pass through it or slip off. It's true. So Mei's wall was bugged since April. In the first Overwatch 2 beta, we already were able to tell that when you try to wall and stand on it, you were like falling through it half the time. This definitely got pushed down on their priority list of bugs to fix until somebody eventually broke something with the ice wall and got into unintended places probably. And then they finally removed her to hotfix her. But nah, it took him. I think this took him way too long. It made me not want to play Mei because of that stupid. You couldn't stand on your own damn wall. You just slide off it half the time. That was annoying. But finally they fixed it. Cool. Mercy audio made a change to the sound of Mercy's first-person glide to address frequencies that some players found uncomfortable. Can't say I play Mercy to know what this one is. Reinhardt, fixing the last update. Fixed an issue where quick melee did not swing Rein's hammer. I think everybody uses M1 to use the Rein hammer, but I mean, if any of you freaks actually use quick melee, that's interesting. Sometimes some people on Brig do it too, where they use quick melee. It's actually a small Brig tip where, okay, any of you guys play Brig? When you swing with your mouse button, and you accidentally or like when you want to like hold up your shield after swinging, you'll accidentally bash if you use M1 or your primary fire. But an actual way to avoid that on Brig is to use your melee button as your swing so you don't accidentally bash. I don't know if this accidental bash happens to anybody else, but it certainly happens to me where I know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Rockstar Ryan? Okay, thank you. I wasn't the only one. But now, it didn't really matter to Rein as much because he doesn't have a hold with melee to swing, or anyways, whatever. You can now you can quick melee with swing, I guess. Pro tip. Not a skill issue, it just happens because of latency sometimes. Okay, Sojourn can no longer pick the flag up in CTF when using power slide. There's our Sojourn nerf, guys. The only one. Let's go. First one. Okay, Sombra, this one's a big one, guys. Fixed in the last update. EMP can no longer be damage boosted. I actually tweeted this out, but not all of you follow me on Twitter. But early on, this was a combo I kept telling people to do. You nano boost your Sombra and the 40% EMP would become 60%. And it was such a strong combo. But this actually got stealth fixed 2 weeks ago in their patch, which was in the last update. They just didn't document it. I did a Mythbuster like 2 weeks ago and I was like doing it and I'm like, why doesn't it work? And I tweeted out like, bro, this got stealth changed. But at least they wrote it here now. Apparently it was a bug for the whole time, but yeah. EMP can no longer be damage boosted. So don't nano your Sombra before EMP. Well, it won't affect the combo. It'll still hack everybody and make Sombra deal more damage if they shoot them after, but it's not as strong as a combo. This is actually a pretty big Sombra nerf. If you watch any of Fitzy's clips, he definitely had a lot of nano EMP clips early on in the season because it was strong. It was a really strong combo. Okay, and Torbjorn, fixing the last update was where melee didn't swing Torb's hammer, okay, and then Wrecking Ball, fixed an issue with adaptive shield that could cause you to lose health. Ooh. I saw Marbler, shout out to Marbler, another fantastic creator in Overwatch. He's like a wizard with like workshop and little intricacies under the hood. He actually showed you guys how the losing health with adaptive shield bug worked, so you can go check him out. And that's it for today's patch. I think the takeaway point for everybody was like, where are the Sojourn nerfs? How did we get Junkrat nerfs before Sojourn? Yada, yada, yada. Again, these were stealth fixed last week anyways, or 2 weeks ago. Just put in here now. They did, if you guys missed it, lead designer Alec Dawson did say on a Twitter space, quote unquote, these are not, don't take this word for word, but it's something along these lines of Sojourn is not a problem for like 90% of players under a certain rank. So she's not a priority, which I didn't agree with. But the silver lining is we are looking at her for season 2. And season 2 is in like 2 weeks, guys, or 3 weeks, a little 2.5 weeks from now. Okay, so it's not that far away. But I didn't like that thinking because obviously if we, I think they should have prioritized her a little bit, because if we look at damage, Sojourn is a problem at high ranks. Maybe not so much in low ranks, but high ranks. But yeah. But that's it for today's patch. Look at all these. Yeah, look at all these Junkrats. There's actually Flame himself here. Literally the lone Junkrat here. But yeah. That's it for today's patch. Make sure to subscribe for more stuff. I appreciate you guys listening. And yeah, see you guys in the next one.